is there a plan for a Pre-Goblin album, and when can we expect it?
Cut that.
This is Shortwaves. My name's George Godfrey, and today I'm very excited to say we're talking to Alex and Jess from Pre-Goblin.
You like money.
Gangsters, I mean, what a tune that is, taking us out to the Wild West. That's your fourth single. What's the story that you wanted to tell with that tune?
I think it was trying to sort of write a theme tune to a film no one's ever seen.
It's interesting you say that it's like for a film that's not been made, because obviously you've got the video there that you did with Niall Trask, and you know, there's a little narrative going on in that, and it's a great video. How was it making that?
It was great. A lot of fun.
It was really fun. Obviously being cooped up in London for all those months, and then you suddenly get to go to a farm and you're like spending time with all these like wild animals, and there was chickens running around like by your feet, and there was like pigs, and actually got to like literally go into a pigsty and roll around with the pigs.
I did want to ask, because you know, you're riding horses in that one. Is that something that you kind of had on the acting CV before, or did you have to learn to ride horses last minute?
We had to learn last minute, but I learnt drunk. It was fine. I had a few Negronis before I got on there. We weren't wearing helmets either, so it could have ended really badly.
I mean, you could have maybe put some padding in the hats, but, you know, maybe it make your heads look too big.
Don't try this at home.
No, definitely not. There's like a few stories out there that you guys were writing for a long time before you released anything.
Yeah, we had done a lot of writing, but slowly but surely we got releasing all these songs.
Do you think that that's down to you guys, I don't know, wanting them to be as perfect as possible?
No, it's because we're so disorganised.
Okay.
We wrote loads of songs. We used to write, like, when we first met, we wrote so many songs, like, just so quickly. So now we have, like, quite a big backlog of songs we want to put out. And now it's a case of just, we're in a situation now where we've actually got someone that wants to put them out. I think we were just, like, kind of umming and ahhing how to do it on our own. Now we've got someone that can help us put it out. Then there's no stopping us now.
How did you guys meet in the first place then? How did it come together, and whose idea was it to start collaborating like this?
Well, you've hit on a problem there, George, because we both have different answers for you.
Okay, I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah, it's still, the argument continues. Who met?
Yeah, who contacted who first?
Yeah, I don't know why Jess has such a problem with this, because I'm obviously right. But thinks that
I'm gonna scroll back through all the messages now, just to prove you wrong on my holiday.
Well, let's hear your side of the story, Alex.
Well, do you know an artist called Harry Mary?
I don't know.
He worked with Ariel Pink and people. And
okay.
He's great. A friend of mine knows him really well, and we got him over to do a show, a bunch of shows, and I put something on Facebook, and then Jessica contacted me for tickets, but I didn't see the message, because you know you got that funny message board on Facebook where when you don't know someone, it goes to a funny folder and you don't see it always.
Yeah.
So I didn't
funny folder.
The funny folder, the lols folder. I didn't see it, and until after the show, and then I clicked on it and I was like, hey, you know, did you enjoy the show? And Jess said yes, but she didn't go to the show, but she'd been to another show.
I went to the one after.
Right.
Yeah, and then we got chatting.
This is the correct.
Yeah,
this
that's
is the
how
correct story.
Yeah, so I contacted you, but then you. No, Jess said, why? We started talking about music, and it turned out we both from Portsmouth, but we didn't know each other in Portsmouth.
Right.
It turns out we're both from Hayling Island, which is even weirder.
We literally live next door to each other.
And you'd never met?
Never met, no.
Strange.
No.
So weird. So weird.
And then Jessica contacted me, and we recorded, and it was great. First, we did a lot of songs and a lot of music together, and it was really good. It's amazing. we both seemed to sort of just hit it. It was love.
Yeah.
George.
Sparks flew.
And was Combustion the first one that you put together, or was that like a longer journey to get there?
We did
Love Letters was the first one.
Right. Also a single that's out as well. That was released 3rd, was it?
Yeah, and it's funny because we should have explained when we put it out that was the very first vocal take on that track.
Oh, nice.
Like that was the very first vocal track, the very first recording like,
we did
we did as a duo, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And because the song's called Love Letters, and you know, there's a romance in that, which is like, let's keep the original, the way it was first born, the way that we first began. Let's keep that in the song.
You know, we're both interested in those sort of one take recordings, like an early, you know, like the purest, or like a moment caught. So that was the idea behind it, the most pure sort of moment. And it was the first recording, but as Jess says, within sort of half an hour of meeting each other. So I really liked the vocal. I didn't think I could top it.
Alex had a cold, which was quite
I could
funny.
have sung it. I felt it just had that, the feeling was there, and I like that sort of thing where it's genuine. You know, in a world that demands perfection and people re-recording their vocals and overdubs,
stripping out every bit of it, like every bit of soul of anything. Like,
I really like that.
It's just nice to keep that in.
It's like you said, there's kind of like an honesty in the performance because it's that there and then, and you've run with it.
Yeah.
How about the live shows? Because you played a couple now. Was there a teething period getting into those? Like, was it difficult to get the music from your mind onto the stage, or were you always kind of like a band in the room rehearsing?
We didn't really think about it like that. It was just recording all these songs, and then the idea was to sort of get a band together. But we didn't quite know how to sort of. I personally, I felt like we didn't quite know how to do it live and
right.
fit the songs, and I always felt maybe to do something that was different from the record, so different that it didn't matter, like, if you get my meaning, instead of trying to recreate the record. And we tried that for a bit, but now we sort of on the backing tracks, and I think the live shows have just got better and better actually, because we're more sort of in tune with each other, and I think there's a natural, we're quite funny together, and I think there's a lot of that comes out, but it definitely took a while to get there.
We used to go around as like a 5-6 piece band, where we had to strip it down to like just 2 of us for when we did like European shows and stuff. And then we found that having it as a 2 made it kind of a bit more party, because we had more of the electronic side in it. Now, when Miss Rona disappears, we're gonna like try and blend the club side with the real band. So we're going to have like live players backing and have like electronics. So it's like a best of both worlds. We need to get the band ready, really. So this is going to be a good chance for us to like, when we come back, we'll be even better.
We're doing these videos with Jaguar Shoes. They've obviously got their venue, the Victoria, where you have played. I think it was last year. What are your memories of that space and just that where it sits in the London scene?
Yeah, I like the Victoria. I've been going there years. Like I used to live near there. It's a nice place, and we had some funny shows there. One was like really good, really down, and like people were really into it.
That's just one of the spaces that's been struggling over the summer. You know, these 100, 200 cap spaces in particular. And one of the questions I've been asking a lot of the bands while we've been doing these is just how important smaller venues have been for their career up until now, and what you think their place is in terms of developing new talent.
If there was no small venues left, then you'd just be forced into these like air-conditioned arenas. And it's like, where's the culture in that? So I just think like having small venues are really important, just to you know, just to have a small group of people feel like they belong to a certain kind of tribe or like certain type of music. It's just like, I just feel like that's what's dying out.
They're vital, like totally vital, and I think it really is like the lifeline, isn't it? I suppose to a scene. Like you've got the big spaces and the major places to play, but without the small places, then you really don't have anything. I don't think you won't have a scene. Full stop. No. I think it's like there's maybe not enough importance put on that.
I was going to say, like Jess said, it is without that. Then where's the creativity in the area?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, we're going to wrap things up with some quick fire questions that the Victoria have asked me to ask. So it's just first thing that comes into your head. Jess, we'll start with you. Who was the first band that you fell in love with?
Oh, we know that. I know the answer to that one.
Oh yeah, the Towers of London.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That's the first on there, but yeah, I respect it. Alex, who was the last band that you fell in love with?
Jessica Winter.
Woohoo!
There you go. Jess, what is your favourite cocktail?
Porn star martini.
Great shout. Alex, what is your biggest guilty pleasure?
God, I quite like Paul McCartney solo stuff occasionally. It's one of my guilty pleasures. There you go.
And then this last question is one for both of you. It's something that we all want to know about. Is there a plan for a Pre-Goblin album, and when can we expect it?
Yes, and yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
From
yes,
me
yes.
too.
Good to know.
Yes.
Yes, there's always been a plan for a Pre-Goblin album,
Yeah.
and it will happen. We just need everyone who hears this to go out and get the record,
Right.
and keep buying the record until the album comes out. And tell all your friends, just call round, and let's get this album made.
Let's do it. Alex, Jess, thanks so much for your time today, and enjoy the rest of your holiday. Jess and Alex, enjoy the rest of your day, man.
Thank you.
Nice one. Thanks again.
You can catch up with more shortwaves at jaguarshoes.com/radio, and don't forget to follow us on Instagram. We're at Shortwaves Radio and Victoria Dalston.